It's time for some serious education here in the Dr. Duke Show. This is Mobocracy Week. Mobocracy is a tip of the hat to P. Jake Jacobs, a friend of ours and a great conservative thinker who wrote a book called Mobocracy, whose entire premise is America is becoming not so much an idiocracy as a mobocracy. When all the idiocracy people, when all the idiots in America got together into a mob, they became, Antifa. So all week long, we've been warning you about the dangers of mobs and how detrimental mobs are to civil discourse, to civilization itself. They are about anarchy. They are about unmaking civilization. And so let's go back to some of our great quotes about mobs and how we must keep in mind the dangers of the mob. Hannah Arendt, who was one of the great students of the evil of the Nazi regime, made the following observation, quote, "Only the mob and the elite can be attracted by the momentum of totalitarianism itself." Look, listen to that. The masses have to be won by propaganda. What a beautiful statement. The idiotic mob and the progressive elites with their heads right up the progressive backsides, they're all for it. The middle classes, the sane, sober middle classes, who more often than not send their kids to college for an education when those kids are getting an indoctrination, it's the middle class that has to be propagandized. How about Abraham Lincoln? There is no grievance that is a fit object of redress by mob law. There's not a single legitimate grievance or complaint that can be actually fixed or helped by mob action. And how about Charles Caleb Colton? Quote, "The mob is a monster with the hands of Briareus, but the head of Polyphemus. Strong to execute, but blind to perceive." And if you remember your Greek mythology, Briareus was a 100-armed monster that had hands and all sorts of things. The mob is that kind of a monster, an ignorant monster, but it has hands everywhere. But the brain, the head, is the head of Polyphemus. You may remember from your reading of the Odyssey that Polyphemus is one of the Cyclopses, the one-eyed brute creatures who gets blinded by Odysseus. In other words, mobs have 100,000 hands in people's faces, but they have the vision of a blind man. And then let's go back to Seneca, the great Roman playwright and philosopher, quote, "The mob are more restless than the waves of the sea, more unpredictable, more fickle, more changing, more shallow, more destructive." That's your mob.